Hey, crypto family. So, unfortunately, Bitcoin is still uncertain. It's still a little bearish, down 0.61% to $7,737. Then, among the top 10 coins, three of them are actually up today. The top one being Ripple, up 4.3% to 41.8 cents. I've actually seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about this. So, again, one coin maybe to look out for. They have Litecoin up 2.5% and Binance Coin up 2%. So, it's good to see some green coins in the middle of all this red. And looking at some Bitcoin analysis here, Bitcoin seems to be hovering over that $7,700 level. Now, if you look on the daily chart here, you can see twice it's bounced from that 7,400 support. Again, this could be seen as a double bottom, potentially bouncing higher to test this 8,400 resistance. Or you can see it as if it breaks it one more time. Again, the more times it touches that support, the weaker that support becomes. So it's going to see interesting to see what happens with that. But talking about support on the 4-hour chart, you can actually see multiple times Bitcoin has held this 7600 support, so it's bounced and it's continually candle has closed at this 7600 level. So something to keep in mind. This is a powerful level right now, and again, maybe an intermediate support before it hits that 7400 support again. So something to look out for. But looking at the RSI right now, the RSI is still pretty stable right now. It's at 50, not overbought or oversold. So again, Bitcoin could go either way. But Bitcoin is above that 50-day moving average, which again is another form of support. So we're going to have to look at that 6,800 if this 7,400 breaks. Then longs and shorts are pretty stable, not really showing any direction. So again, a lot of uncertainty right now, wondering which way Bitcoin's going to go. But we're going to have to see what happens with that. Now, looking over here at this article, first article we're going to talk about is by Apple, and it says Apple's iPhone is taking its first steps into Bitcoin and crypto. So this is a pretty big article, and it was actually at their World Conference yesterday, and it says Apple, maker of the wildly successful iPhone, appears to be taking its first tentative steps into the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, revealing its upcoming iOS 13 software release will feature what Apple calls a cryptographic developer tool. Now, they refuse to use words such as cryptocurrency and blockchain, versus people such as Facebook, Galaxy Maker, Samsung, and other global tech companies have begun experimenting with their own versions of support for Bitcoin. But Apple is implementing what is going basically to compare to a hardware wallet. So it says, quote, for the first time, developers can leverage the secure enclave to manage a user's keys in an iPhone, achieving a similar level of security to hardware wallets. And then you can see here, Apple announced the iPhone Cryptokit yesterday at its Worldwide Developers Conference. So again, Apple getting into the blockchain space, and it's great to see it because they have a ton of users, and that'll just increase that curiosity and increase that mainstream adoption. So I definitely see this as very positive for the future. Now, one of the second articles I want to talk about is Facebook, and it says Facebook's radical Bitcoin beating cryptocurrency plans revealed. So it says Facebook, the social media giant that has been lurching from crisis to crisis in recent years, is gearing to unveil its Bitcoin-beating new cryptocurrency Globalcoin later this month. Now, this was a lot sooner than a lot of people were thinking. A lot of people were thinking next year, 2020. I made a video a couple videos back mentioning that, but it looks like Facebook has accelerated that and wants to launch the Globalcoin later this month. And basically, it's going to be their own stablecoin, and you can use it on their websites. You can use it basically to buy certain apps, and really they're saying it's more for third world countries and people who want a stable coin, so kind of to rival that Bitcoin that we've heard about helping Venezuela and other third world countries. And it says Facebook is reportedly going to charge firms $10 million each to run a node for the Globalcoin network, and plans to allow all node operators to have representation in the independent foundation. And another thing that I thought was pretty funny says people will also be able to buy the digital token through physical ATM machines, while Facebook employees working on the project will be able to take their salary in the new currency, according to the info. Now, I say it's kind of funny because it's a stable currency, but employees can still take that instead of fiat, which, I guess either way, but, if something does happen to Globalcoin, then their coins are worthless. So, just something to think about if you are taking a stable coin. There's really no advantage versus taking fiat, right now versus maybe 10 years down the road. That may be different. Now, this is pretty good news because, again, Facebook has a massive user base, and for them to be implementing this Globalcoin, again, more mainstream adoption and just more eyes on crypto. So definitely something positive for the future. Next, last but not least, is an article about gold, and it says Bitcoin and gold prices diverge again, extending the 5-month correlation. So long story short, Bitcoin and gold have over 5 months had this inverse correlation. Again, this doesn't always imply causation, but it is something to note. When Bitcoin was declining, gold was increasing, and then vice versa. Now you have gold, reaching its high levels, and now Bitcoin is starting to decline. So whether this is just coincidence or not, whether this trend will continue, it's hard to say, but just something to keep in mind if people, they have been talking about gold and Bitcoin having that inverse relationship. So I'll be interested to see if, as gold continues to increase, if Bitcoin continues to decrease, or we have a change and we break that inverse correlation. So again, it's only 5 months, not a super long history, but something to keep in mind. With that, if y'all enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate all my subscribers and viewers. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time.